So today I quickly wanted to talk to you about the shifter from Ableton, and how I like to use it and why, and especially the last examples would be some specific situations, but maybe the most interesting ones in the end. So I like to use shifter on percussions first. I don't know why really, but even using the pitch mode and going 12 semitones down is not doing the same as using the transpose of the sampler. But what I like, especially what I like to do, is use the frequency mode to pitch my hi-hat. Because I think you can fine tune it a little bit more, and maybe you'll end up on some settings that are in between the semitones, so you'll get results that you cannot get otherwise, you know? You also have the ring mode. By default, I think it's on that setting, 1K. So it has almost that beat crusher effect that you can, if that's what you want to go for, you know, you can get it from here. But the special trick, I think, for me in that ring mode is when you put the chorus here on the lowest value, which is 1, the sound is pretty much unchanged. If you start to turning up just a tiny bit, you'll hear what it's doing. It's almost like on the phase or on the envelope, but the effect that it's giving is amazing. I mean, it's almost like a delay. It's making the hi-hat shorter, and then above 2 hertz, it kind of creates this tail effect that you can adjust to the rhythm that you wanna have. But I think it's creating those subtle things that are really amazing. I like to use this wide function here, which is spreading the frequency. Like you pick a value here, and he will put this value on the left side of the signal and the opposite value on the right side of the signal. So it will create a nice stereo effect. So it's a nice thing to know. If you want to add stereo, you can do it with shifter, and at the same time add some tuning to the your hi-hat. You can use a combination of both. I think it's super powerful to know, and you can really get some interesting results if you mix a bit of everything, you know. Like for example, let's add a shifter before that will just, you know, make the tonality different. Maybe add some stereo with this wide effect here, and maybe add that one after, so it's creating this little effect of. What you could do is play with the LFO from the shifter inside here. And if I were to put the rate super high and play with the amount, it would create this kind again of beat crushing effect, making it a bit more dirty. If you put on phase mode, I think it's creating some kind of stereo again. So you basically have two ways to create stereo with shifter, is using the wide function and using the LFO with the phase. Again, on drums, I like to use a super high rate and just trigger the amount that I like to make the sound dirty, but not so much, you know. Again, you can really add texture and transform your percussions with that, you know. I mean, Another thing that I like to do with it maybe is to work with it on some lead synth sound, you know. So I did this basic patch here. So again, the different modes. I mean, if you add just a little, of course, it's like this famous detune effect where it's making the sound super techno right away. Or maybe try the ring mode. Yeah, you see what kind of results you can get really by working with the different elements or the different modes and adding a little bit here and a little bit there. You can really go in so many different directions. Do I want it to be dirty or not? Maybe using the LFO, maybe making it wider with the wide and the spread function, you know. Again, one final tip is maybe the one that I like the most is like when you have a sound that has low frequencies like bass and that you kind of want to take them out but not by filtering or something, shifter can do something really special for you. I loaded that loop here from a sample pack, so it's a great loop, you know. But if I use the shifter in frequency mode, it will pitch the sound in a way that the low end will kind of disappear. You only have like a noisy, high frequency feeling of the sound, and you can turn it into something different. Let's say I would like to use that loop in my track. If I already have a kick and bass, I don't have space for that sound to play down there, at least that much, you know. So I think it's super interesting because you can use the shifter instead of just cutting that low end, and you will have different results. I mean, you see what I mean, right? So use it for yourself. Try to experiment with it. Maybe some people overlook the the power of this tool that is Shifter, man. And I hope that I gave you some tips that maybe allows you to realize how powerful it is, and maybe you'll find the thing that you like with it and your sweet spots and your perfect settings that you like. And I hope you can just get something out of it.